StreamYard. It's good to be back in the saddle, guys. Welcome, Tony Katz. The show is Tony Katz today. I don't have my cigar on me. I'll grab one maybe during the break. I do not know if America wants a new political party, and I don't know if they want Elon's political party. I mean, you could do it, but we will discuss, of course, the latest on these Texas floods. It's just horrific. Got a lot to get to. Glad you're here. Don't forget to follow over at TonyKatz.com. And look, the turquoise Hanoverian today from Flederman Von Riest, proud sponsor. Von Riest, I'm their brand ambassador. Von Riest right there. R-I-E, right over here. R-I-E-S-T-E, vonriest.com. Use promo code CATS and get your discount. Let's start the show. There is not a good bit of news about these floods. That people have lived through them in Texas is stunning and amazing. And there are acts of heroism all over the place. The latest has the death toll at 89. When I posted this story yesterday, if you go to TonyKatz.com and you get my show sheet, what I'm going to be speaking about the next day on the show, the things that are the big stories, things that I think are going to be the things everybody's talking about, the death toll was 60. It's now, this morning it was 82. And now it's 89. I bring this up because we are nowhere near done. It's going to keep rising. This is a horrific situation. These flash floods. Maybe more horrific is the politicizing of them. Trump gutted the National Weather Service. Oh, climate change. You know what? No. They can't be more awful than the death of these 89 people who did nothing wrong, 28 children who were there at that camp. No one did anything wrong. They were just out living their lives the way they're supposed to, the way they should have. Sometimes horrible things happen. I think people have a real issue with the idea that horrible things happen. And sometimes horrible people happen. And that's what we have seen from so many places on the political left. This was the Democratic Party that decided that this was going to be their statement piece. As floods hit, key roles were vacant at Weather Service offices in Texas. This is what the Democrats put out there. They wanted you to know that the staffing shortages at the National Weather Service's San Angelo and San Antonio offices doubled under the Trump administration. Kerr is where this took place. Kerr County, Kerr, is northwest of San Antonio, right there on the Guadalupe River. But this isn't the case. I've got Nina Turner on my side. And why is Nina Turner on my side? Because Ron Filipkowski, who is a leftist, never met a Trump supporter he didn't want to put into a re-education camp. My take. The people in Texas voted for government services controlled by Donald Trump and Greg Abbott. This is exactly what they're getting. Or that is exactly what they're getting. No matter how he tries to say it, he doesn't do good with the English so much. Secondly, you mean the 13-year-old girls who got swept away by the storms, they deserved it? Nina Turner, who is a beyond leftist, posting, "It takes a serious lack of humanity to see children die in a natural disaster," and respond with something along the lines of, "That's what they voted for. Shameful." Yes, Nina Turner, it is. Thank you for noting, and thank you for saying so. Appreciate it. But this is where we're at. This is what we do. And I'll tell you, I had some time off. You guys know that from last week. It was a weird week because it didn't go the way it was supposed to go. I had some stuff to do, and then I was going to head and see my mother in Florida. And I don't know how I say this. I'm not too shy of a guy. I had a colonoscopy, and then I didn't fly anywhere. And I think I leave it at that. I think out of respect for our friendship, I leave it right at that moment, and I give you nothing else. I tell you, I came back to the show today. I'm like, I don't even know why anybody does this stuff. How much of this are you supposed to respond to in some kind of rational way until you tell these people to go to hell? I should be allowed to use 4-letter words and 5-letter words. Seriously, there should be nothing that is out of bounds. The rules that are put on radio that force us into this idea of properness, I do not know if that can allow someone in my position to properly explain how despicable, the word is ghoulish, and obscene these people really are in the places in hell to which they belong. It's frustrating. 89 people are dead, and the answer is, oh, Trump did it. It's gross. It's gross, and it's awful, and it is purely evil. And it should make you sick. And as I reminded people on the social medias just the other day, as you watch Democrats blame Trump for flash floods in Texas that have killed 70 people, which they are doing, they're absolutely blaming Trump. As you watch that, and as you watch, even though there are multiple warnings, by the way, from the National Weather Service, because those services weren't cut, you watch Democrats scream about climate change to use this tragedy to get political power. And as you watch Democrats squeal that 13-year-old girls dying deserved it because they were Christian or white or conservative. Now, true, I haven't seen that so much from elected officials as I have from their progressive counterparts here, there, and everywhere. But when you see that, it is a reminder, very, very important reminder, that Election Day is November 3rd, 2026. You better get out there and vote. You cannot allow these people. You cannot allow these people to have power. You cannot allow them to have control. You cannot allow them to be in charge. This obscenity. You gotta say no. And I had brought this up not last week before, maybe it's a week before that. I know, like plenty of people who send their kids to college, and the kids get radicalized in college because that, of course, is the plan. The desire to want is to radicalize the 19-year-old, the 20-year-old in college. And then the kid comes home for a visit, and man, everything's difficult and everything's rough. And I have advocated before on many an occasion this idea of you got to try and work through that. Certainly, you shouldn't spend your money on those universities. You should pull your kids out of those universities. No, they don't get to decide. You decide. It's your money. You owe it to your kid. Well, your kid's 20. I don't really care. Tell your kid to get a job. They want to go to name the craptastic university. but your job is not to take it. It used to be, hey, my kid this, so I'm handling this and I'm working on that, and they'll come back around. Now you can't let them just say, I'm going to vote for this one, and you Republicans are. You have to be dealing with them directly and thusly. I still think you can argue it respectfully. But sorry, if you're willing to vote for people who will scream that lives were lost because Trump bad. No. You can't be allowed to have any power. If you're going to vote for people who not only are willing to take a look at the deaths of 80 plus people, and that number, that number is going up, and so do I. Everybody knows that number is going up. And utilize these deaths for power, and then try and move that into some of these other conversations, like who's really decent. Nah, these people need to be confronted, including if it's your kid. We're through the looking glass. You cannot talk to me about decency, son, and then bring up Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Jasmine Crockett. You're just wrong. You want to go get some pie? I'm not having that. They're not decent. They're not good. Great. No one's decent. No one's good. Who allows me to better live my life? That's the answer. Now, should we have dinner? I get it that it's rough. I get it that it's rough and tumble. I get it that it's going to create problems for the holidays. What I'm saying is that you cannot nice the thing out, because look at how they act when they are emboldened to act in this way. There was a story, and I may get to more of it. I saw Griff Jenkins talking about it over Fox News, where there was a shooting that took place. Let me see it. Let me see if I have this here. Active shooter attacks Border Patrol facility in the Rio Grande Valley. The shooter is deceased. No border officer agents were harmed. The guy had a rifle and in tactical gear ambushed Border Patrol agents. Now, I don't know anything about this guy. Am I willing to make the bet that we're going to have another one of those lone wolf conversations, because the political left has been calling for a lone wolf for years? Trump is a threat to democracy. Trump bad. Trump this, Trump that. Trump's evil. Trump's destroying you. Trump's taking your rights. We need somebody. And sure enough, there's Butler, Pennsylvania. And sure enough, another guy tried, never got the shot off at Mar-a-Lago. You call for the lone wolf, and you look what you're going to get. Now you've got people who are proactive to trying to engage violence with Border Patrol, with ICE agents, and you see that taking place. And if your kid is down with that, your kid has to be told that they're wrong. And if the university you're sending your kid to is pushing that, you got to pull your kid out of the university. If your kid wants to pay for it, your kid can pay for it. I didn't say you didn't love your kid. I didn't say you were going to let your kids starve. But I can't sit here and say it's a smart idea to let your kid get abused. It's a smart idea to let your kid, because you're worried about the relationship, walk all over you and scream and spew nonsense. Being a parent is never ending. And there are moments where you keep your mouth closed and you stay out of the way. Absolutely. Time teaches. It does. But the nonsense must be confronted. The lies must be confronted. And the people who want to stand on dead children to make their political point must be confronted. It's awful what took place in Texas. And the truth is, it's awful because sometimes awful things happen. I don't have a good answer for any of it. But I have an answer for the people who want to make political hay out of it. And my answer is Election Day is November 3rd, 2026, and they cannot be allowed to win a damn thing. Not a thing. I'm Tony Katz, and this is Tony Katz Today. Children, what's going on? Tony Katz, good to be with you. Tony Katz today. I was looking something up. Actually, not for the show, just something that was on my mind. Talk to me. What's going on? What's happening? What are we doing? How are we doing it? Look at that. Right on, right on, right on. Okay, good. So you got questions, I've got answers. Man, check out all the comments. Oh my gosh, it's Sarah Smith, everybody. Sarah Smith has returned. The prodigal daughter has returned right there. Right, and Freddie's got his wrench. Everything's going good. Everything is going totally solid. We're getting back to the radio show. Producer Landon is behind the board, and we'll get going. If there's something I should be talking about, let me know. Let me know. I will get to it. Let me see where the markets are right now. Oh, and what's her name? Caroline Levitt. You've seen pictures. She's supposed to go at 1 p.m. So we may cover that. And never being content with not being on the losing side of an issue, the political left is out there demanding that we bring home Kilmar Abrego Garcia. I swear to you, I feel like it's the movie PCU. They freed him already. Well, he's not in El Salvador anymore. And remember, they were complaining, oh my gosh, he's lost 30 pounds. He was treated so poorly. And Bukele, the president of El Salvador, is like, here's the video. What are you all talking about? It's because they'll say anything. Will these radicalized progressives? Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. But what are they saying as they rally? Hey, producer Landon, finger on the dump button, because why not? Hey, can you hear that? Oh, I'm going to stop it right there because I wasn't sure if everybody could hear that. That's on me. That's on me. You know what happens? You go away for a couple days, and next thing you know, it gets all nutty. We'll try it again.
Good morning. Thank you. Kilmar is our brother. We have 30,000 members in this region, and each and every one of them is Kilmar's brother and sister. When this happened, we all couldn't believe it at first. But part of us could, because our members, before they became union, were victims of wage theft. They were told that if they speak up about their issues on the job site, the contractor will call ICE. They were told if they complain about safety hazards, if they complain about harassment, that they will be the victims of immigration enforcement.
So this isn't about the guy who's associated with MS-13. This is about unions. Honestly, can you tell me how this connects to Palestinian and Black liberation, please? That would be the capper.
And unfortunately, under this administration, that continues to happen on the job site. What none of us thought would happen is what happened to Kilmar, which is when he was picking up his kids from preschool, that he was also illegally kidnapped and sent back to El Salvador.
He was not illegally kidnapped. He was under a deportation order. Yes, there was a judge who said he couldn't be deported to El Salvador, and that is worthy of conversation. That's something that the Bondi Department of Justice should have handled. But he wasn't illegally kidnapped. He was illegally in the country. Why do we continue to argue with these people? And if this is the way you want to go, we're totally fine. We're totally fine with this. But we should be clear that you're not good and decent people. Very, very different people. Us and you. Because what you favor is not anything that creates an actual value.
By immigrants who came to this country.
That's right.
And they were harassed and they were the victims of wage theft. And then hundreds of years later, that still happens. And all we have left to do is we have to band together. Our unions, we don't have a choice. This could happen to Kilmar, and this could happen to any single one of our 30,000 members. So right. Please, 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 if we want to continue to create a middle class in this country, it is imperative to bring Kilmar home. These things are completely related. Yeah. So, on behalf of my union, the painters and allied trades, on behalf of all of the building trades, we stand with Kilmar, and we have one simple message: bring Kilmar home.
Huh. Well, I have one simple message: don't hire union. I am not an anti-union guy. Have I ever discussed this? I am not anti-union as a concept, meaning that I don't mind if it takes place. I don't mind that there is a carpenters union. I mind that you are forced into using a carpenters union. There's a difference. Because usually the rank and file are not the issue with any union. The issue is the leadership. Kilmar Abrego Garcia is connected to MS-13, and you're saying what? That we should be allowing for people who are here illegally to stay because it's going to help with union dues? It's going to help because unions are on the side of illegal immigrants. How do illegal immigrants build the middle class? They don't even know what they're saying. And again, they cannot be allowed to win elections. This is Tony Katz today. There we go. So I'm sorry. It is shocking that they try and connect in these ways. It's just it's broken minds and weak folk. It is what it is. But we'll get into Elon and his party coming up. What am I supposed to tell him? Don't start a political party? Make a political party. Go right ahead. Just don't be surprised if it doesn't go anywhere. Anyway, we'll be discussing this on the show coming up in a little bit. You've got questions. I've got answers. What's going on? It's good to see everybody here. So yeah, took a couple days off. I hope everybody had a fantastic Independence Day. It should be Independence Day. I don't know what's happening here, but the comment is an onion ring counts when you're drunk enough. Yes. I don't even understand the context. I don't have to. This is why it's the best chat room in all of America, ladies and gentlemen. Get in there while you can. I don't know. She's on the YouTubes. An onion ring counts when you're drunk enough. Oh, yeah, it's fact. That is just science. So, listen, I've only been drunk once in my life, and I could eat an onion ring right now. So I am I am all about it. An onion ring sounds great right now, by the way. I forgot to grab a cigar. Dang it. No. I'll have it in a bit. There's this guy. This guy is a treat. Let me see if I can move that over. There we go. You guys want to see what beta male looks like? Here you go. Oh, no, you can't see him. I'll do it this way. There he is. The guy on the left is Piers Morgan. The guy on the right, that's some beta. That's how that's happening. Look at that. That is the kind of face that says sunshine makes me curl into a ball and hide. That is not healthy. Now you can't, no, Claudia, you can't call that a punim. That's a punim is a thing. Shayna punim, what a face, right? That's my God, you really are working hard for that squared off jaw. It just doesn't do anything for your squared off head. So, anyway, here we go.
Of October. In 2023, 240 Palestinians had been killed that year by the Israeli state, including 40 children. What else was Hamas supposed to do on the 7th of October?
That's a take. This is the kind of interview Piers Morgan does. I don't know how you have the stomach for that. I don't know who this beta male is on his show who's dressed like a very dear Lord, could I please be Steve Jobs cool one day? And the answer is no, you can't. And this is your argument. October 7th just had to happen. In
2023, 240 Palestinians had been killed that year by the Israeli state, including 40 children. What else was Hamas supposed to do on the 7th of October?
And you gotta, if you're not watching the live stream, the way he's bobbing the head, I swear to you, I'm pretty sure this guy was actually an extra in the movie Clueless, which is so apropos considering how little he knows. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. Good to be back. Good to be back. No, I was supposed to do a little bit of travel, and that just did not work out. So I think it's going to happen in a couple weeks. I was supposed to go see my mother down in the villages. And for those wondering, my mother still no pineapples. What? I'm keeping an eye on these things. Pineapple free is my mom in the villages, and so that's one less thing for me to worry about. Because I swear to you, if I have to have the talk with her, things are going to get weird. I was supposed to go, couldn't make it. It was messed up. I'll end up going in a couple weeks. One of the bigger stories today is this story of Elon Musk saying, I'm going to start a political party. I guess I start where all things should start, which is my take, which is you go right ahead, boo. I only care if you're going to start advertising on my radio shows. That would be great. Otherwise, whatever. You want to waste your time? You do you. Go ahead, start a political party. Now, when you have $300 billion at your disposal, you might be able to get a bunch of things done. But do I care? Was I asking for it? Does it matter? Do we need it? Don't care, wasn't asking for it. Don't think it matters. Do we need it? Well, I don't think that's 100% up to me. Elon Musk posted on X, by a factor of 2 to 1, you want a new political party and you shall have it. When it comes to bankrupting our country with waste and graft, we live in a one-party system, not a democracy. Today, the America Party is formed to give you back your freedom. The America Party. Oh, that's a strong name. The America Party. Well, that he means business.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Strong. What does he think of Republicans?
F these people.
What does he think of Democrats?
F these people.
That's right.
F these people. F these people.
I did that multiple times so you would understand. And of course, if you run a political party, you're going to be
popular. You're gonna be popular.
I just figured I'd play enough stuff to ensure we were demonetized on YouTube. You're welcome. I don't think anybody's actually asking for a political party. Well, I ran a poll on X and people said they wanted a political party. Now run a poll that says, who wants banana pudding? And you'll find out that America wants banana pudding. Run a poll, who wants to get kicked in the nards? And you will find that over 50% are like, you know what? That sounds great today. Thank you, Elon. And thank you, sir. May I have another? Which oddly enough, I don't have. How do I not have that sound effect on my board? Shame on me. Thank you. Thank you, producer Landon. Asking anybody anything online, it's not how this works. The question is, what are you going to provide? What is it that you're engaged in? Well, we're going to be serious about spending cuts. Okay. Well, that'd be great. And I'd appreciate it. And this goes into a larger conversation about the one big beautiful bill. My conversation with Phil Kerpen, if you haven't heard it, is coming up. The one big beautiful bill is not particularly beautiful. It's not bad. The whole Medicaid thing is the left just lying out of their heads. They can't stop. You're not throwing people off Medicaid. You're saying that able-bodied adults need to at least be trying to get a job in order for them to get any benefits. There has to be a work requirement. What's wrong with a work requirement? I look at the people who are opposed to work requirements, and I look askew and say you're everything that's wrong. What kind of gross, nonsensical garbage taker are you? You know, you're these dopey communists who actually think that to each from their measure, for their need, from each from their measure is like valuable. That's Marxism. From each according to their measure, to each according to their need. Meaning we take from the rich and we give to the poor. We take from this group and we give to that group. And we decide what is equitable and fair. And they do that via the barrel of a gun or throwing you in a gulag, and they take what's yours. And these communists think that they're good and decent people. Like this lowlife in New York, Mamdani. He thinks he's a good guy. These people are obscene and gross. Capitalism, great. Communism sucks. And anybody who says otherwise should be laughed at, publicly humiliated for being amongst the dopiest people on planet Earth. Of course, capitalism is better. And if you haven't been on your social media feeds, I should really grab some and start posting over there at TonyKatz.com. Professors at events saying, we're utilizing the school to destroy Western civilization. We're utilizing the school and I'm getting paid because I have to get paid. I need all this money, but we're trying to destroy the university from within. They're not even shy about it. These people are terrible. all communists, all Marxists, they're all garbage people. And it's one of the reasons, going back to something I was discussing earlier, you can't let your kids just go to some university and just take this abuse. You can't do it. You can't allow that to happen. So you have this thing from Elon. He's gonna start a political party. But I don't think that means that people actually want a political party. I don't think that means it at all. I think people want the political parties to do better, to act better, to perform better, to provide better, to listen better, to implement better. I don't know if they're asking for something new. There have been times that we've tried other political parties. Certainly the libertarians have been trying for forever and have been failing every step of the way. Why? They can't stop talking about weed. Oh, go ahead, yell at me. I'm fine with it. But I'm right on this subject. I have voted for libertarians before. I like libertarians. Now, I'm a conservative after time and reflection and study, etc. But I think that they have worthy conversations. Just stop talking to me about weed. It can't be a weed-based platform. It doesn't work. And I'm talking about winning. You can talk about anything you want. I'm talking about winning. What is it that the America Party, by the way, good job in coming up with the name. They got with the boys.
I think it's ridiculous.
Sorry about that, President Trump. I'll get to you in a second. They got with the boys in the lab and they said, what's a good name for a party? And they came up with the America Party. Grok couldn't do any better than that. That's a very ChatGPT name. Just saying. But what do you want them to do? We're really going to be serious about spending cuts. I don't believe you at all. What did President Trump have to say about it? Well, exactly what you'd expect.
I think it's ridiculous to start a third party. We have a tremendous success with the Republican Party. The Democrats have lost their way, but it's always been a two-party system. And I think starting a third party just adds to confusion. It really seems to have been developed for two parties. Third parties have never worked. So he can have fun with it, but I think it's ridiculous.
He can have fun with it, but I think it's ridiculous. And not necessarily are we developed for two parties, but that seems to be what we have settled into. Does a third party fracture the Republicans and allow Democrats victories? Well, ask Ross Perot. It's possible. But the Republican Party should know that there are people who are bothered by the spending, by the constant increase in debt, another $5 trillion debt limit. This is not something we should be proud of. So to that idea, keeping pressure on elected officials and letting them know that they cannot rest easy, including Donald Trump, good, smart, valuable, worthy, yes. America's clamoring for a new political party? Ah, hell no. No. I don't think they are. I don't think that America actually wants it. I think some people are going to jump in because they're going to see if they get some money out of it. $300 billion Elon writing you a check. Some people are going to do a lot of different things. As I said, if the American Party wants to advertise on my stations and on my shows, absolutely. I'm here to take your money. I'm the America Party friend. The Republican Party wants to do it as well. That's great. That is great. But do I think that there is a clamoring? No, I don't think that there is a clamoring. I think that they want what exists to simply work better for them. Just more honest, just more clear, just fight harder. We'll see what Elon does, and we'll see who jumps in to get paid. I'm Tony Katz. This is Tony Katz Today. Welcome back, everybody. Producer Landon was just about to say something, and then you came back, so now he gets to say nothing. Nothing whatsoever. So anyway, arm is like, check out my scar. Hold on. Check out my scar. Ooh, it's fancy right there. I don't know what I did over the weekend. It was getting better. And then Saturday, I heard all this popping in here. And it could have just been scar tissue from the surgery or whatever it was. It has been so sore. It has been awful, dreadful. But the fact that I can move around is way better than it has been. So good to be here. Good to be with you. We are going to stick around for part of the Caroline Leavitt press conference, because you've got Trump meeting with Netanyahu tonight. You have the whole Trump-Zelensky conversation where Trump is very unhappy with Vladimir Putin. The only thing that matters is, when does that like turn into some level of result? Does it turn into some kind of action where Trump is now supportive of Ukraine? Because the last I saw, this was while I was out, Trump was suspending arms sales to Ukraine. Right? We held up. Yeah. Trump paused some weapons shipments to Ukraine. This was CNBC 4 days ago. Yeah. So what comes now? Because the bombings are still taking place. The drone attacks are still taking place. And by the way, it could be that he's like, yeah, I still don't want to be any part of this. I don't think Trump has necessarily changed in that regard, but he has to by now understand that Vladimir Putin is no friend, and Vladimir Putin is not going to listen. He's just not. That's all there is to it. I wanted to share with you. Did I share the Axios story? If I didn't share the Axios story, I will. If we want proof of the violence, the violence that's coming, the violence that's being supported, it is here. So I will get that to you. Coming back to the radio show. Glad you guys are here. Here we go.
But I think Elon Musk needs to look at what he did in this past election.
Yes.
We have a broken system right now because there is no oversight. We have a broken system right now because there is a president who doesn't believe in the Constitution and who defies judicial orders. And Elon Musk and his $300+ million and God knows what else he may have done that we don't know of, own the problem that he created. Yeah. So, I am going to be focused right now for the next year and a half in getting Hakeem Jeffries elected Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
Because that's the choice in front of me right now. Do I think either party is perfect? No. But I think we need oversight, and the only way to do it is by making sure that Democrats regain the majority.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with Anna Navarro there, and make sure they don't. So you see, this is how you do it. You advocate for your position, and they advocate for their position. Then, of course, you recognize how ridiculous their position is. And it seems that Anna Navarro is saying that somehow Elon Musk is still working with Trump and trying to maneuver elections, and it's pathetic. What is not pathetic is that we have been accurate from the beginning regarding the concept of lone wolf. Now this gets sadly heavy. But every time we said that when MSNBC and CNN were saying that Trump is a threat to democracy, Republicans this, your rights are going away, they're stealing this from you, they're taking away from you, they don't care about the Constitution, like you heard Ana Navarro just say. They've been calling for a lone wolf, someone to go out there and do damage to President Trump, which we saw at Butler, Pennsylvania. We certainly saw at Mar-a-Lago. We get back to that. Then you have people out there like Pramila Jayapal saying that obstructing ICE is indeed a good thing.
Some of the most inspiring things have been when people encircle courtrooms and refuse to allow ICE agents in. There are all kinds of nonviolent resistance tactics that we have to use.
Well, ICE would say differently regarding nonviolence. But then you get this story from Axios. The Axios story reads, Democrats told to get shot for the anti-Trump resistance. What in the world do you mean by get shot? At town halls in their districts and in one-on-one meetings with constituents and activists, Democratic members of Congress are facing a growing thrum of demands to break the rules, fight dirty, and not be afraid to get hurt. So what is it that they're hearing, according to Axios? The grassroots wants more. Quote, some of them have suggested what we really need to do is be willing to get shot when visiting ICE facilities or federal agencies, a third House Democrat told Axios. Fourth House Democrat has said constituents have told them civility isn't working and to prepare for violence to protect our country. We called it from the very beginning. This is who they are, and you need to know it. I'm Tony Katz. So, with that, hold on a second. What did I miss? Was there like a weirdo comment that took place? Because I did not see it. I don't know who Anna is. I don't see Anna anywhere. I don't see Anna anywhere. So hard pass, Anna. No one cares what you think, Anna. Nobody asked you, Patrice. Who's Anna? Do you see that comment, Producer Landon? No, Patrice is from a show. It's from How I Met Your Mother. That's awesome, though. Thank you, Landon. Yeah. I don't know who you're talking about. Oh, Ana Navarro. Ana Navarro. Got it. You know, I only host the show. I should really pay attention. So here, we're going to take the break right now. Smoke them if you got them. We're going to come back to the press briefing. So we're supposed to have at 1 p.m., we're supposed to have Caroline Leavitt. Hold on a second. This just in. False. Republicans no longer represent Americans. They represent Israel, and now they cover up Epstein because he was Mossad. Tyler, you might be a schmuck. Republicans don't represent Israel. Republicans represent their districts. I don't like what's going on with the Epstein stuff. I think that there's information that we deserve to get and that we're not getting it is gross. I have no idea if he was Mossad, nor if that's why anything's being covered up, but I want the information. Plain and simple. But the idea of they represent Israel, I want you to know that I mean it. I want you to know that this isn't something that I just say flippantly. You wrote they represent Israel, and I want you to know how incredibly stupid that is. I want you to know that it's a dopey ridiculous, nonsensical thing to say. And I'm pretty sure somewhere out there, Nick Fuentes is currently doing a live stream. Go there. Go there. They represent Israel. I mean, is your name Tyler or is your name Ilhan? At what moment is there really a difference? Show me data, boo-boo. Otherwise, I just don't need you around. And as for why is everything a global Jewish conspiracy? Because it sells. And as we all know, global Jewish conspiracies more delicious than other global Jewish conspiracies. Yum. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back. Keep it here. Smoke them if you got them. Welcome back, everybody. I turned off the music. There it is. Tony Katz. Tony Katz today. What is going on? Getting ready. I don't need to. The White House press briefing supposed to be happening. Let us get to it. They are not there yet. That's what it looks like right now. That's what it looks like. You see over there. There's Peter Ducey hanging on. So they're playing some stuff, and then they got the Deuce. They call him the Deuce. That's not what they call him. I'm Tony Katz. The show is Tony Katz today. Man, a lot of comments. Good to see you. Let's get to the show. White House press briefing coming up. Hot diggity. It's going to be super exciting. I'm assuming that the administration still has a lot to talk about. But I think that if your objective is promises made, promises kept, you gotta move on to the next thing. Getting the one big beautiful bill passed. That's a big story. That's a big deal. That matters. And that is something to crow about. Certainly one of the things that I would expect from this briefing is a real pushback on the falsehoods that are coming from the political left and just get accepted by the shameful reality of a news media. Tony Katz today. Great to be with you. Find everything I do over at TonyKatz.com. Live streaming right now. If you're on the YouTube's Tony Katz, the Twitter X, Tony Katz, Facebook, Tony Katz Radio. We are everywhere. And you could be a part of it. The one big beautiful bill doesn't do everything for me. I do question whether or not I call it beautiful. That said, you're not going to hear me get upset with tax cuts. I'm very, very, very happy about the tax cuts. And we should be all. Well, Tony, the tax cuts are just for rich people. The more Americans who get to keep their dollars, the better. the more people who think that somehow Americans have to pay their fair share, the worse off we all are. If only because fair share doesn't exist. We all understand that, right? It has always been a lie and it has been a fraud. Fair share is an excuse to say we're going to take a little bit more. It's truly an evil concept. Fair share, what is fair? Who determines what possibly is fair? And once you start asking that question, you realize that we are governed by elitists who see themselves as not only authoritarians, but as royalty. And we're certainly not engaging the rule of law or anything that's sensible. But then again, I believe in getting rid of the income tax altogether. There's still nothing that is more offensive and more horrific that has done more to damage American society than the income tax. Dividing people, tearing people apart, this belief that somehow the government should have a connection to your income. No. My income comes from the services that I provide and the compensation I get for it. Government has no place in that and no play in that. They could have a play in other things, luxury taxes and all sorts of stuff that way. But not in any way, shape, or form should they have any connection at all to my income. Zero. Less than zero. So for the tax cuts, I'm totally down on the one big beautiful bill. Increasing the child tax credit to $2,200. If you're really looking to build up the family and really take to heart we the people in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Kids, I didn't need to read it. There's no cue card here, right? It's all from the brain. Promote the general welfare is to promote the family, and I am all down for that. I see that value and I see that importance. 2,200 as a tax credit seems like we could have done better. The whole qualified tips thing, and no tax on tips, no tax on tips. All right, maybe a little tax on tips, maybe a little bit tax on tips, because on the tips, you're talking about $25,000. That is the cap. Overtime is capped at $12,500, and that's only for 3 years. So with that, I'm not going to sneeze at the 25 grand. I want it too. That has been my whole argument. I want another $25,000 that I can categorize differently in my income that I don't have to pay taxes on. It'll be a couple of G's. I don't know what the tax is on that, but I'll take it. I will absolutely take it. So, again, it's not as big as one thought. The SALT deduction, state and local taxes, are back up to $40,000. Sorry, that's just a flat-out abomination. That is a failure. A gimme to a couple Republicans in blue states who had to do something in order to make their people feel good. It's a subsidy. It is what it is, what it is. Do I think the bill is beautiful? No. We've often joked that if we talk about parties, right, and the differences between the parties, Democrats spend and Republicans spend slower. Come on, that's very, very clear. Like you, I'm going to assume like you, I find it outrageously frustrating. I find it, I think, to a better word, offensive. That we take a look at spending slower and we're like, good on those Republicans. On the Medicaid stuff, certainly you're not going to have me upset with work requirements at all. And the people who are concerned about work requirements are dismissed. You're just silly people who believe that what should happen, what should be taking place, is that you should somehow be getting a deal. That's what it says to me. What it said every time I see somebody upset by this about work requirements, somehow it's okay to steal from others, and this other person gets a deal, and you're just lucky that we didn't take more of your money. Can't stand those people. I had actually written, if you get my show sheet over there at TonyKatz.com, I had written for the first time, when the left was talking about the flooding and they're blaming Trump for the floods in Texas, and how they're politicizing all of this. The desire to politicize the awful is everything I hate about politics and culture. Not disagree with hate, and I'm never that guy. I'm never ever that guy. But man, 89 people are dead, and you're like, how does this hurt Trump? Just so gross. The one big beautiful bill, it isn't what the Democrats say it is, but it ain't perfect by a long shot. But yes, I expect Caroline Leavitt to come out and talk about it and love it. We'll see if we get to her. We're not going to do as much with her as we have in days past, but if she comes out soon, we'll see what she has to say. Keep it here. I'm Tony Katz. This is Tony Katz Today. So I've got I'm putting the comments up so they can be seen on the screen. There's a whole button for that. So you can take the comments, and now they are seen on the screen. But the problem is I have to change. I have to do that. Now you see that still doesn't work. Maybe it would work with a different setup altogether. See, doesn't work in that setup. I'd have to create a setup in order for this to be screen, unless I can move them. Can I move the comments? Nah, I can't move the comments. All right. I don't know. StreamYard changed all around. StreamYard's gone a little different. So it's like, all right, I'll kind of play with it and see what we get. See, I like the bar there, but it does, when you've got two people, it does change things up. But if I would limit myself, right, and in this, and do this, and boom, and then I could go a little bit smaller, and then I could raise this up a little bit more, like there, like is that better? Like, is that a good look? And then, so we're just waiting on, so that would be at full screen. And so you'd see me here and you see this there, or should it be like the opposite? Should I be, but no, but then I'd be covering them up, and this covers up this. I don't know. Is this good? I think that's not bad. All right. I'll bring that down just a touch. Boom. There. Bring that down just a touch like that. I think that might work. I think that might work right there. I don't know. I guess I could put something in these spaces. Live and learn, people. I don't know what's taking her so long. Caroline, we have rules about this. Supposed to get out there on time. Press briefing? Nope. We're just waiting on it. Well, now that Peter Ducey's sitting down, it looks like they're ready. So we'll catch a few minutes of it. We may not catch the whole thing because there's a bunch of stuff I want to get to today for sure. Right now, I'm telling you to keep your calendars open for November 5th. And get ready. And I think if I can pull this off in August, if I can pull this off, I will be very, very pleased. Oh, there's Caroline Levitt coming in. Come on. No, that was somebody in the digital seat. I thought they were going to have it. I thought he was going to be there. Killing me. All right, coming back to the radio show. Fill the black squares with ads. Yeah. Oh, I have my own coffee. Have I not talked about this? Let's talk about this. Caroline Levitt due out any moment to speak to the crowd assembled. Tony Katz. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. Did I miss Donald Trump announcing tariffs on Japanese and Korean goods? Well, that explains the market just taking a giant. I mean, at one moment it was down over 400. Yeah. And it's like the Vietnam deal. Sorry, I want the trade deals. And I mentioned Vietnam as a key component to putting the pressure on China for the trade deal. Vietnam, South Korea, Japan. I said these things matter. India. And now I've got a 25% tariff on Japan and Korea. And I've got basically a deal with Vietnam that says nothing. Scott Bessent can talk about it and pump it up all he wants. Now we're hearing that maybe we'll have trade deals by August 1st or tariffs will go into place. Now we're hearing tariffs at 60 to 70%. There is no strategy here except what deal can we exact? Say that we put out a deal and move on. That's what's happening. That's the whole story. Frustrating. Completely and totally frustrating. Because this doesn't have to be this way. Trump does not have to do this. We're taking in billions of dollars. What is this continued talk about the billions of dollars insanity? It is not necessarily a win.
During the president's first term, lots of folks said that the president's historic tariffs on China during the first term were going to be terrible for the economy, and there was no lasting evidence of that whatsoever. There was no meaningful economic inflation, no meaningful economic slowdown. Everything was actually pretty okay in response to the tariffs last time. And thus far, again, this time we have a repeat of the same performance, whereby lots of folks predicted that it would end the world, there would be some sort of disastrous outcome. And once again, tariff revenue is pouring in. There's no sign of any economically significant inflation whatsoever, and job creation remains healthy.
The job creation was created on the state level, not in the actual business world. And manufacturing was down 7,000 jobs, according to the jobs report. You're absolutely correct, Sir Stephen Mirren, White House Council of Economic Advisors. He's the chair there. That we haven't seen the inflation move, to which I am absolutely thrilled. But I don't want to see it come back as I see manufacturing down and government jobs up and the billions of dollars being taken in by the U.S. federal government. Those are our dollars. Mostly, I don't understand what we're trying to do here. Are we trying to keep people off their skis, right? Trying to keep them off balance? If I'm Japan and I see a 25% tariff, I'd walk into whatever government meeting I'm supposed to walk into it and go be like, well, man, I guess we've started the cycle of stupid this week. What do you think? Gone by next Tuesday? Vietnam's going to open up all their markets to us. Who 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 cares? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters, what matters is that they buy. I'm sorry, I just didn't believe I'd actually have to say it. It doesn't matter if they open things up, they have to buy. If they don't buy, none of it means anything. It's like the deal with the UK. They're going to offer up $5 billion worth. Look at, they're opening up $5 billion worth of markets. No one cares, boo-boo. They got to buy. And what I want is the buying. And for the record, you think this is me attacking Trump? I want success. I want things that make sense. You didn't see me complaining about tariffs against China. Tariffs on Japan are for cock to silly. Wait, didn't we already have a deal with Japan? Oh, they've got a trade deficit. They're not buying enough of our goods. Are they investing here? Can we move on? Trade deficits are not a reason for tariffs. It's a fundamentally different view of the world. I get it. I knew what I was getting when I voted for the guy. I understood it. Doesn't mean that I still don't disagree with it, because I do. I absolutely disagree with it. That this continued joy for tariffs just is an incredibly valueless proposition. Speaking of valueless propositions, Tucker Carlson.
There are some large number of Iranian nationals living in the United States. Some have said they are, quote, sleeper cells. They are terrorists who are acting at the command of your government. Would you right now make a statement to Iranian citizens living in the United States not to commit acts of violence in the United States?
You see, these things you're telling me, this is the first time I'm hearing them from you or from anybody. The Iranians are known for their knowledge, for their science, for their courtesy, for being civilized.
Sure. The Iranians, the mullahs, the hardliners, and clerics are known for being civilized. This is Tucker Carlson doing an interview with the president of Iran, where Tucker said, I didn't press him on anything. I didn't ask him too much. I wasn't expecting totally honest answers. Then what the hell are you doing the interview for, boo-boo? What is the point of the interview? So this guy can engage a bunch of propagandists? So are you doing us a favor so we can all see what kind of low-life caliphate desirous schmuck he is? What? I don't know. I don't know what Tucker was after there. Was it the kind of thing, you know what? We put him for the interview. They said yes. We figured, screw it. Let's see what happens. But when you start the thing by saying, because of the satellite and because of the translator, we didn't really push on anything. But if you want to argue that the mullahs and the Ayatollah are civilized, you do just that. In the meantime, hey, Caroline Levitt, what are you doing?
Station from the tragic flash floods in Texas. Moments ago, the Department of Homeland Security provided an update that 91 innocent souls have now perished. Everyone here at the White House, including the President of the United States, is praying for the victims' families and friends during this unimaginable time. President Trump swiftly signed a major disaster declaration for Kerr County, Texas, to ensure our heroic first responders have every resource they need in the relief and recovery efforts. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem traveled to Texas over the weekend, and the entire Trump administration is working hand in glove with state and local officials to provide every assistance available. The situation on the ground remains dangerous, and there could be additional public safety threats with potential incoming heavy rain. So we encourage everyone in the area to remain vigilant, listen to all warnings, and respond accordingly. Unfortunately, in the wake of this once-in-a-generation natural disaster, We have seen many falsehoods pushed by Democrats such as Senator Chuck Schumer and some members of the media. Blaming President Trump for these floods is a depraved lie, and it serves no purpose during this time of national mourning. Here are the facts. In the lead up to this tragic natural disaster, the National Weather Service did its job. Despite unprecedented rainfall, the National Weather Service executed timely and precise forecasts and warnings. On July 3rd, the National Weather Service office in Austin, San Antonio, Texas, conducted forecast briefings for emergency management in the morning and issued a flood watch in the early afternoon. Flash flood warnings were also issued on the night of July 3rd and in the early morning of July 4th, giving preliminary lead times of more than 3 hours before flash flooding conditions occurred. And the National Weather Service office in New Braunfels, which delivers forecasts for Austin, San Antonio, and the surrounding areas, had extra staff on duty during the storms, despite claims of the contrary.
Well, we knew
So
this
to
was
any
coming.
person who has deliberately lied about these facts surrounding this catastrophic event, you should be deeply ashamed. At this time, the administration's focus will be giving the victims and their communities the support they deserve during these recovery efforts in this tragic time.
The
May God
approach is
bless
right.
The great people of Texas,
They go low, we go high.
especially the parents who
Right?
have lost their children.
That's Trump
President
channeling
Trump
his inner
loves
Michelle
you.
Obama
we are
right
praying
there.
for you, and he will be traveling
I'll
to
have
see
a
you
little
later
bit,
this
maybe a
week.
little bit more of this. We've got a
Moving
lot to
along
get
to
to.
some
Keep it
further
here.
scheduling
This is Tony
announcements.
Katz today.
Tonight, President Trump will host the Prime
I'm going to be
Minister
heading
of
out
Israel,
from the
Benjamin Netanyahu,
live
for
stream.
dinner,
But
where they will
just
discuss
a
the
few more
positive
seconds, Caroline.
developments taking place in the
They're
Middle
already
East
on
region.
to other subjects, right?
Tomorrow, the president will host his
It was
sixth
actually a good
cabinet
thing.
meeting
How
of his
dare the
second
left
term.
say this
Many
stuff?
of you will be invited to come
The
to that.
National Weather Service
And
did it
on
right, so
Wednesday,
it's actually
the president
defending
will
them.
host leaders
Shame
from
on these
5
terrible
African
people,
nations for
Democrats.
lunch in the state
Moving
dining
on
room.
to the other
In
side.
other news,
Exactly.
after the historic
As
signing
she
on the south lawn
should.
of the White House on the
I
4th of
appreciate
July,
you guys
President
being
Trump's
here.
One Big
Do
Beautiful
not
bill
forget
is now
to
the
go
law
to
of
Von
the
Lee.
land.
There it is.
Republicans in Congress met the
and
once-in-a-generation
get yours.
moment
Use
to
promo code
codify
CAT
the Make America
and
Great
get
Again
your
agenda
discount
into
there
law.
on
After this
the time people
monumental
assembled right here
achievement,
in
no
the
other
USA.
president in modern history has worked harder and
watches.
faster to
And
fulfill
thrilled
their
to work
campaign
with them
promises
and
than
be
Donald
able to
Trump.
share
The
the
One
story
Big
here.
Beautiful bill
Von
will
Reese,
get the
all right,
United States of
EST,
America
go to
firing again on all
vonreese.com.
cylinders.
Use promo code
It's
CAT
safe to
and
say
get
that over the past
your
few weeks, the
discount.
president
I
has
will be
delivered
back
on
with
many,
live
many
stream
wins.
tomorrow.
For the fourth month in a row,
It's just
job numbers beat market expectations with
I'm just
nearly
not doing 3-hour live.
150,000 good jobs created in the month of June.
What we're doing.
The American
I'm glad
economy
you
has
guys
now
are here.
added nearly
And we will
700,000 jobs since January
make it an
2025,
action-packed
with
90
American
minutes.
born workers accounting for all
Thank you, guys.
job gains.
Appreciate you
President Trump
quite
drove
a bit,
illegal border
and I will
crossings
catch you
to
tomorrow.
another historic low
Take
in
care.
the month of